Mourners off Waltham Park Road in St Andrew came under heavy gunfire yesterday while viewing the body of a former resident in the community. When the smoke cleared, the driver of the House of Tranquillity funeral home hearse and a 17-year-old boy were dead. The hearse should have transported the body of 49-year-old Desmine McCluskey to St. Mary for the Thanksgiving service for her life, but instead it became a piece of evidence in a double murder. The driver, Michael Bent, of a Kingston address, and Dontae Jackson, of a Kingston 20 address, were shot dead, while a 2-year-old child and a 23-year-old woman were injured in the invasion. Yesterday's shooting incident is the second to have left a child injured in less than a week. The constabulary's corporate communications unit reported that approximately 10:20 a.m., Bent was in the 77-lane community when 4 men traveling on motorcycles drove up and opened gunfire at the group of mourners. When the mayhem was over, residents found that 4 people had been shot. They were taken to hospital, where Bent and Jackson were pronounced dead and the others treated. When the Jamaica Observer visited the community yesterday, that hearse and a Jamaica Urban Transit Company bus that would have transported mourners to the funeral were seen in the area. Managing Director of House of Tranquillity Funeral Home on Orange Street in Kingston, Cornwall, told The Observer that it is customary for some out-of-town funerals to have a short viewing of the body at the deceased individual's home, unless told otherwise by the police. The family requested that the body be taken to the home for a short viewing and then for it to move on to the place where the service would be held, which would be the church, and then from there to the place of interment, which is the Annotto Bay Public Cemetery, Cornwall explained. Cornwall said Bent was a cabinet maker who was employed to the funeral home as a driver. When we started out, he used to do some part-time driving for us, which would be removal of bodies and attending funerals, but he still continued with his cabinetry. He never gave up his trade.I. In fact, he was one of our night drivers, Cornwall explained. The funeral director also explained that, as a result of the large number of funerals scheduled for yesterday, Bent, who has been working with the company for over a decade, was slated to drive the hearse. He was a very kind, jovial and loving person. He was very cooperative, and this is why he was with us, though not full-time. Cornwall added, as people from the community visited the funeral home to view his body yesterday afternoon. When the Observer visited Kingston Public Hospital, KPH, yesterday, Bent's co-worker, Delon Smith, was seen crying uncontrollably. He's a good friend. He plays a father role in my life, Smith said. This morning we came to KPH, where we are now, and we picked up a body. This morning I went for a food for him next door. When he was going to funeral, he asked me to fix his collar for him, and that was it, Smith said, adding that he has been working with Bent since 2016. In the meantime, Cornwall told The Observer that another hearse was dispatched to the scene of the shooting and McCluskey's body was transported to St. Mary for the funeral service.